Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Yo, 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 yo.
Uh-oh. There we go. What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking?
What's cracking? Let me get this straight right here. Yo, yo, yo. Judo Woke Ace is another moment of the Hidden Hand Truth Talk Nation moment with Mark from 7 Mile. What's up, yo?
What's happening, dog? Same old shit, different toilet. You already know what it is, man.
Man. So, you know, we got a bunch of stuff going on, man. It's just been crazy, man. The news seems like every day we got something new. Or every hour.
Man, I was just scrolling CNN
Right.
a minute ago, man, and I meant to talk about this previously before we was started talking, before we started the show. Rather, when we was talking, it was another black unarmed man killed by police, and I don't know exactly where, but like today, I don't know if it was today or yesterday or what, but another one, man.
Where was that at? You said you don't know?
Yeah, I didn't. I seen it briefly on my CNN notifications, but I didn't. I was on the phone and I didn't get a chance to click the article, and I wanted to go back to it. But yeah, man, yet another one. I don't know the name or exactly what happened, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and look that up and see if I can find some info about it. But
Man.
like you say, man, it's always something, man. It's always something going on.
It's looking ill, man. It seems like they want everybody to straighten that up. You know what I'm saying? You got the summer approaching. Hot boy summer, or what they say,
hot
hot white.
summer.
No, this summer they say hot white boy summer. That's
Hot white boy summer. Where did that one come from?
I don't know. That's searching all on the net right now. So what the white boy is gonna get into, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got all this race baiting going on.
Most definitely. We got Republican melanated politicians claiming that there's no racism in America, but at the same time saying that the things that are going on is a result of white supremacy.
Right.
So how can you say that in the same sense? There's no racism, but then mention white supremacy. What is white supremacy in itself?
Well,
it's a component of racism, right?
But you have to have control and to implement some type of law. That's the white supremacy to me. Because you can be white and say you're white supremacist, but have no type of backing or no law to, you know what I'm saying, to back up your white supremacy. But white supremacy would say like certain laws, like Jim Crow back in the day, would prohibit you from drinking out of certain drinking fountains, or prohibit you from buying a certain house in the area. Which right now, it seems like they coming up with certain laws, this anti-Asian law,
right?
Asian hate, but yet and still we getting shot down. That's white supremacy. That's what I'll say, white supremacy, because it's just white, and whatever I say goes on, it's gonna go on.
It was peculiar to me how immediately after the whole situation happened with the Asian people. And that crime that happened against them. Immediately after that, Joe Biden signed an executive order.
Right.
To protect them. Immediately. This is one situation that we can speak on, that we can remember in maybe the last, whenever. When was the last time you remember something happened to an Asian person in America as far as a racially motivated attack?
Maybe on TV or something, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or maybe over...
This is the first time that I've heard about it on the mainstream scale. I'll say that. First time I heard about it on a mainstream scale, and now all of a sudden there's an executive order passed to protect them.
Right. So I'm looking at like they got the money. We have the voices, but they got the money where they can buy people out. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to be on the streets, the Chinese and all that. Look at them. They getting laws passed without being on the streets. So look at the combat. I think is a book out there called what is it? Modern warfare. I forget the book I'm bringing next week or next time I come on there, but it teaches you about how you got to be modern with warfare. Far as like, you know what I'm saying, Black Lives Matter, everybody, they hit the streets. No, you can hit them another way. You hit them on the internet with a whole bunch of shares. Just to bombard them with shares. Just bombard them with a bunch of the topics that you want to get out instead of hitting the streets.
But the thing about that is, you know, and I experienced that, you know, this myself. You know what I mean? With me having the amount of following that I have, and because I think the type of topics that I talk about, sometimes Facebook will stifle your views. It will because of the type of things and the content that you publish, you know. So if you contrast that or magnify that by a few years, we may end up getting to the point where we can't post and have free conversation on social media, period.
It's getting to that point.
And that's what I'm saying.
When they start kicking people off.
I said this 5 years ago when I started getting reported on Facebook, like with my live videos, when I started doing this live video streaming, and I'm noticing that with certain conversations or certain content, they have restrictions or regulations on you being able to post or talk about.
Right.
You know, but people are still, you know, we so programmed to gravitate to this blue app, the red app.
Mm-hmm. So, man, like,
and then we giving them the power. We giving them the power. That's why I push so much about you know, us really
when they ban
our own websites.
See, when they ban a lot of these racist people, we are like, yeah, they need to be banned, but it's gonna hurt us later when we accept that. When they accept a lot of these racist people that they ban, and that's freedom of speech. Let them talk. Let them say what they have to say. Because that's going to make it better for us to say what we have to say. Because once we into this, they should be banned because of racism and all that, then later on they're going to ban you. Because they're going to use that as the foundation.
I mean, here's the thing. It should have showed you the opening of the door of certain things when, you know, regardless of how tabloidy or true sometimes they may not have been, when the president comes out and claims that a whole news outlet is false and fake, and, you know, fake news and alternative news and all of that, that lets you know that they're getting to the point where, you know, they're censoring everything.
Right.
And even truths, you know, can be, that's why I brought up the alternative truths. Even truths now can be spun around into just being opinion just because of what somebody else thinks or feels.
Well, that's why shows like this is important.
A truth is not even the truth anymore because somebody feels a certain way.
Yeah.
I feel like I identify as something, so regardless of the truth of what I am, the world now is shaped in a way where you have to respect what a person feels more so than what the truth is.
I probably wouldn't say the world. I think we live within the United States or something. Within the mainstream.
Okay, I'll give you that then.
Because in other spots,
in this country, I'll give you that.
They ain't on that.
I'll give you that.
They all into themselves. But us in the United States or in Europe and I'm gonna say the modern world, we're programmed. That's why it's called the modern world. We're programmed to whatever, you know, they say so. And who is they? They is them, and who is them? Them is the hidden hand. The hidden hand behind it is really the truth. Who really runs it? Who really programs you to think that way? Because this is a propaganda campaign, yo. It don't just start with talk or how we talk. It starts with commercials. It starts with movies. It starts with videos. It starts with the talk. To keep that way of thinking in your head. Because in other countries like North Korea and all that, they don't even allow their people to get the internet. Life is life. And it is what it is. Now,
and what is it? I was just trying to explain, or I can't remember the regulations on China. And I think, was it China or Japan as far as having kids? What is it? They can only have so many kids?
Well, they opened it back up. I think they can have a little bit more kids. I think it was only 2 at first in China had to. I think even Japan to a certain extent, but when the United States took them over, they had to populate. Because they're islands, so you can't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Populate a lot because, you know, Japan is an island. So back in the day, from thousands of years, they didn't have control over babies and everything due to the land. You know, and China had a law and just recently opened it up because China want their people not just living in the mainland of China, they want them spread out. So have babies and spread out and take over the rest of the world with our ways and our looks and our DNA. Right. That's what China on right now. That's why they, you know what I'm saying, I think China is one of the countries, Germany, to where after you graduate high school, you could take they give you a passport versus when we graduate high school, they don't give us no damn passport.
Yeah.
They want you to go places and you get grants and the benefits of seeing what goes on in the rest of the world. Who bows down to Germany? Who bows down to China? And you will benefit off that. So, you know. But we about to get into the news, you know what I'm saying? Because there's always that truth news that we like to come to, that truth talk, man, the hidden hand behind it. We got the COVID vax affects women menstrual cycles. So we reported some months ago that the menstrual cycle, not the menstrual cycle, that the COVID vaccine in people, on women, you couldn't go get a mammogram. Now type that up. You couldn't go get a mammogram after you get a COVID vaccine because the mammogram reads a tumor or it reads a cancerous lump or something. But they say don't worry about that, man, Mark. They say, you know, I said don't worry about that. It's a false reading. So now we see months later in the health, and you can Google this, can the COVID vaccine affect the women's menstrual cycles? And it is making it heavier. It's making to where some women don't have it here and there. It's throwing it off to where, you know, a lot of women, most women track their menstruals. All of them damn near. Track it. And so you probably just had your shit and then you have it next week again. And so this is real, people. Wake up. Because you got 80-year-old women and 90-year-old women, which is getting the vaccines, that's having menstrual cycles again. Because the blood is going to flow once you take the toxin.
Wait, so you're saying it is in some old women,
they're getting their menstruals back.
Is restarting their menstrual cycles.
Because the blood got to flow. It's toxins. Your body is like, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's triggering. Yeah. It's something in the body. Because remember we reported, go back to the old hidden hand videos, that the shot got nanotech in it.
Yeah, we had posted. I believe it was a picture about that. Was it a picture or a video about
videos, pictures, and all that? And Fauci says that it's new technology in the vaccine.
Somebody just said in the comments, Nikisha Denise said, I think before long, it'll make us infertile.
Yes, we already reported about that. Thank you. It will make the women infertile. It's a overpopulation mechanism that they put within a vaccine because you're dealing with BG and his wife, the Melinda Bill Gates Foundation.
Yeah.
And we got the video coming up later to where they gonna tell you they don't want people to populate like that. If you're poor, we feel like we gotta take care of you. They don't want the population. What is the Matrix about? The people know. You watch the Matrix. What did the Smiths say? People are a cancer. They move into a spot, they like roaches. They populate it, they absorb all the resources and all the
That's minerals. The reason why, and that right there is the reason why on the Georgia Guidestones it reads that they're trying to eliminate, 10 million or 100 million people today.
And we're dealing with eugenics.
And for it to stay in perpetual balance, the population to stay in perpetual balance with nature. And
I know they got to be messed up because you got niggas dealing with the talk of eugenics and overpopulation. This is regular talk in the hood now. So you see why the wokeness is coming up. The people is awake right now. This is why Biden came on yesterday and said, man, we got to lift the mandate of the mask. Because it's all a fraud. And I know you know people that supposedly died of the COVID, but it probably was the flu. And did they have insurance? We have to look at the details. Because this is, you get $30,000 for just claiming that they had the COVID, plus another $15,000 throw them on the ventilator, plus the insurance that you're going to run up. That you worth $250,000 easily. So get rid of them after a week. I got my money up out of them. It's kind of like what's the movie where they move in and absorb your soul and just suck everything out of you?
Shit, Mortal Kombat sound like Shang Tsung to me when they sing the
Soul, suck the soul out of you. They take the soul out of you. And everybody that I know, 99% to 98% of the people die in the hospitals. I have not seen a person die in the bed. And if they do, they're going to blame it as the COVID. And that can be natural causes, heart attack, numerous other things. And tell me one more thing. I keep saying this. Where is the flu, y'all? Where is bronchitis?
Well, they say that the flu numbers went down due to all of the precautions that people are taking due to the COVID. Like, because we're wearing masks and all that, that's preventing the spread of the flu.
The numbers went down because I can get 30,000 just for writing you down as the COVID. And if I throw you on a ventilator, it's another 15 racks. Plus, if you got insurance, then I can gouge on that. Come on, no. This is better than selling keys. Now, you see why these doctors is around here nutting up and wilding out. The nurses is dancing all on TikTok. They getting checks over checks because they healthcare places that they working in is getting major money. But let's watch this video right now. We got the woman that can't walk after the second vaccine of the Pfizer. So if you think this real, people, we giving you real stories. We can't be fake. So nobody can never say that the hidden hand is fake. Come with the story, man, Margo. Let's roll it.
Of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud claimed his father molested all of his siblings. Freud was a cocaine addict, as well as a pedophile advocate, who taught that children sexually lusted after their parents, and that children who reported sexual abuse by adults had either imagined or fantasized the experience. He believed that women were the problem with society, and all their problems stemmed from not having a penis. Freud's grandson, Sir Clement Freud, has been accused of...
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Bob Mueller. New tonight, a Nashville woman is speaking out tonight from her hospital bed, unable to walk. Less than 24 hours after receiving her second dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, she was unable to move from the neck down. As News 2's Alex Dennis shows us, she is encouraging others to advocate for their health.
It's just like the worst nightmare I can ever imagine.
Brandy Parker McFadden is confined to her hospital bed at Vanderbilt.
Can you walk right now? No, I can't walk.
Less than 24 hours after receiving her second Pfizer COVID shot, she explains she lost her ability to move from her shoulders down.
I thought maybe, if anything, I'd probably get like flu-like symptoms because I'd already had COVID, but I never in a million years thought I would never be able to get up and go to the bathroom or get up and walk to the other side of the room or stand up and hug my kids.
The usually active mother of 3 is speaking out, not with the intent of causing fear.
I'm not saying don't get your vaccine. I'm just saying that COVID is really real.
And still really new, she continues, including the vaccine, which is why she feels any possible adverse side effect should be investigated, even if it is extremely rare.
There's been, I don't know how many people have been vaccinated and been fine, right? But we have to tell everything. Otherwise, we will get nowhere in this thing of COVID.
Right. Yeah, the video we was showing that's going to be played later. That's a whole
it was a live radio. We had mistakes sometimes. Shit, yeah.
Right. But you already see that the lady took the vaccine, the second dose, and can't walk. Come on, this is real. This is a story that they didn't even put on CNN. They're not going to put this on Detroit News. They're not going to put this on Miami. I think this woman was like in Washington somewhere. Look her up. But we don't see these stories. This is live news. Why don't we see these stories, Mark?
Probably because it counteracts the agenda that they want to push. It counteracts the money grab that they out here putting together.
So certain stories is regional.
Well, not only that, that some stories are regional, but it's not going to make mainstream news for certain reasons. I mean, it's obvious reasons why certain news don't get out there. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stories here in Detroit that don't make major news that we feel like should be major news. You know what I mean? put forth, whether they be good news or bad news. Let's say that. You know what I mean? That they don't put out there. It's not all just bad news that they hide because they want to protect an agenda. You know what I mean? It's good news that they don't put out either because they want to keep a certain narrative going. So,
okay, well, we got another story after you seeing this. COVID, we got a pic of the COVID tests will be inside your toilets because Mark was coming with the anal swabs, right?
Oh man, so it's gonna be so you shit in your toilet and it's gonna turn a certain color and let you know if you got the COVID or not. So we got the. Is that what it is? What is gonna be the test that's administered inside of the toilet?
It's gonna have a PCR or whatever the test you got to get to go out of town. The PCR test, which we're gonna come next week, to where the PCR test that y'all taking to go out of town really got little worms and stuff in it, but that's a whole nother story.
Ooh.
So the PCR test is gonna be within the toilet. So when you shit now, because they, you know what I'm saying, they started with the anal swabs. The damn toilet you can buy, probably $1,000 toilet, $500 toilet, is going to detect and give you a reading on your phone if you got the COVID or not from when you shit every day. Yeah, okay, we can't make this.
So you mean that literally the technology has literally went up my ass now? The government is literally up my ass.
Yep, they literally up your ass.
They literally up.
And they started with the swabs because they want to swab your ass. Make sure you got a good ass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And now they coming with the toilets that you sit your ass on. And they're going to test it. This is all fake shit. What the fuck did my ass got to do with this? With the COVID. But this is what they focusing on. They focusing on your ass. Literally. And we can't say so much. They focusing on your ass. And your ass gonna be on the toilet, and when you shit, you're gonna get a reading on your phone about your ass having the COVID or not. And we can't make this up. So next story, we got 15 countries bans, and we talked about this. The AstraZeneca vax. 15 countries, even us, the United States, banned this. Right? I think we got the pick of that. The AstraZeneca banned 15 countries. Bans the vax. So what's that all about, man, Mark?
You said 15 countries. Yeah, we got
bans the AstraZeneca.
Yeah.
Right?
Sweden and Germany joined France and 15 other countries.
And the newest country is the United States.
Oh, we're joining the bandwagon now.
We haven't seen the AstraZeneca, right? Have you heard about it?
No, I'm about to say
it's only Pfizer, Moderna right now, and Johnson & Johnson. And so the next pick that we got, Biden promises to ship vaxes to India. But which one is it? It's the AstraZeneca. So Biden is not going to give India the Pfizer, the Moderna, even the Johnson & Johnson. No.
He's shipping the one to India that these motherfuckers over here in other countries are already banned.
Let's look at it. And so, people, you Democrats that's watching the show, you are praising Biden, but it's a vaccine, though. Here's a vaccine, though. But the shit is banned in 16 countries. I think it's 20 in now, 20-something. United States is in there now because, I mean, have y'all heard of the AstraZeneca? And what laboratory do they share with? Oh, the laboratory was the Johnson & Johnson. They share a laboratory. That's weird. Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca share a laboratory, and we had some videos or pics, I think a couple episodes, to where AstraZeneca and the Johnson & Johnson, remember they was talking about that in Detroit? Because where did they put the Johnson & Johnson? They didn't put that shit in Cobo Hall.
No, they put that shit on 6 Mile, Illinois.
6 Mile, Illinois.
They put that shit on
in the hood. They put that on the E-Way. They put it on the Southwest Detroit. They put it in the hoods. Then it started fucking up. And they said, oops, my bad. Detroit or Chicago or Philly.
We got to recall this.
We got to recall it because it's kind of messed up. Because
it's giving people blood clots. And
the lady in Detroit, which we're the biggest city that really got this shit, developed blood clots. She was fighting for her life. Then another person developed blood clots. And so Biden is promising to ship the AstraZeneca, which is sharing the same laboratory to the Johnson & Johnson, to India, which is people of color over in India. Which we got the video right now. Not the one to Netflix and chill. We got the billionaires discuss the overpopulation. I think we got that video. You see that video?
Let me see. I'm not sure which one that is and shit. What did it look like?
It got the hold on, let me see. Got the overpopulation with Bill Gates. It's not the one with the blue stuff. It should be like a guy on it.
In the lab, that one?
No, not the lab.
Yeah, I must say no. I don't look like no guy on here.
It's within we got four left. Implant tracking. Okay.
Yeah,
They got the holiday dude that beats himself up.
The Netflix, the holiday dude beating himself up. The man in the lab, and then one more.
Hold on. Let me see, people. Hold on.
Live radio going on. Yeah, what's it?
That's one.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. All right, so we about to play. What is this video now? You said.
Right now, we got the billionaire that's discussing overpopulation.
The billionaire that's discussing overpopulation.
And they relating it to them as the Super Friends. So let's roll to this.
Super Friends.
The Super Friends,
a secret gathering of some of the world's most powerful people. Gates, Buffett, Bloomberg, Winfrey. It was like the Super Friends. Together with others at the meeting, including George Soros, Ted Turner, David Rockefeller, they're worth more than $125 billion. That much money, that much power around one table. It begs the question, what were they doing? What were they scheming? Total world domination? This group, together for 6 hours, was talking about charity, education, emergency relief, global health, the new Superman and Wonder Woman, the super rich friends, not fighting bad guys, but fighting for good nonetheless.
Apparently, one of the things they discussed was what each of them knows about what really works and what doesn't work, so they can concentrate their resources.
An epidemic, either naturally caused or intentionally caused, is the most likely thing to cause, say, 10 million excess deaths. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look.
Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero.
Now malaria is, of course, transmitted by mosquitoes. I brought some here so you could experience this. We'll let those roam around the auditorium a little bit. There's no reason only poor people should have the experience.
But did you come to reproductive issues as an intellectual?
When I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was very controversial to be involved with that.
My dad was head of Planned Parenthood.
The ultimate solution, the only thing that really lets us go back completely to normal and feel good about sitting in a stadium with lots of other people, is to create a vaccine and not just take care of our country, but take that vaccine out to the global population.
Take that vaccine out to the global population.
We clearly need a vaccine that works in the upper age range because they're most at risk of that. And doing that so that you amp it up so it works in older people and yet you don't have side effects. You know, if we have, 1 in 10,000 side effects, that's, way more, 700,000, people who will suffer from that.
So we see the billionaires hooking up in these little secret meetings, in these little Bilderberg meetings, the World Legion meetings, the Davos meetings, and the other Illuminati meetings. You might as well call them Illuminati. But the Illuminati, to me, consists of major groups. It's like one gang in the Illuminati, then you got sprouts of it. You know what I'm saying? You got the Illuminati in Africa, which is what I think one of the top Illuminati people is in the Nigerian, the Nuwabis or whatever. Then you got the triads in China and all that shit, and so on. You got the mafias. But what is they hooking up discussing about overpopulation for, man, Mark? Why do they want to get rid of people when we ride all through Ohio, all through Indiana, all through Wyoming, Minnesota, and it's mass land? You go to Africa, it's mass land. So what you talking about overpopulation? And it's been going on since the biblical days. You know what I'm saying? So what's that all about, you think, man, Mark? Is it an entity that's, we always talked about the CERN opening up. That's real, CERN, the CERN. Look at the old Truth Talk Nation videos when we talked about the CERN that they opening up. And when they recently opened it up, which I think was last year or the year before in October, did they bring through an entity to our Earth, man, Mark? That's really, because we've been fucked up ever since, to me, when they opened up CERN.
Yeah, man, we've seemed to have a dark cloud over the whole shit. I want to say world, man, but I don't live in the whole world. This is what we experienced and see in the country over the last years.
And we having all these earthquakes.
I'm about to say, not only between the climate of what's going on politically and with the people, but I was just about to bring up the weather. And the earthquakes, the tsunamis, and the size of we've been seeing bigger and more damaging tornadoes than we've ever seen in our country. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of, everything seems to be accelerating.
And we got the volcanoes erupting. And so are we really living in biblical days to where everybody's saying this is Judgment Day? But this is what I came with myself, man, Mark, on Judgment Day. For me, dealing with the pandemic and all that, in 1 year, Judgment Day to me right now, moving into the future, is you got to make the correct judgments to live. Because God gave you the brain. So don't cry upon me asking for help. That's just my theory right here. That's just my mind. Don't get it twisted and say this is, what I'm saying. But to me, Judgment Day is you today got to make the correct judgments to live. Am I going to drink water? Am I going to take my health into perspective, man? I'm going to live good. And I'm going to be happy instead of less stressful. And I'm going to put the correct vitamins in my body. If I get sick, am I going to go to the hospital? Because to me, 99% or 98% of the COVID patients die in the hospital. That's just me. And allegedly.
I made that same observation myself from what it looks like to me. Especially in the beginning when people were being placed on the ventilators.
Right.
And they came up with the whole theory about the mucus solidifying in someone's
Did you know that when we reported that they upped the ventilators beyond what they're supposed to do? This is the CDC requirements. That their lungs are so clogged that we need to up the ventilators. I'm not a nurse or a doctor. I think they upped the measurements or the airflow going through. That's just me. Y'all can come, nurses that's in the room can come with the correct shit. But anyway, this is literally blowing. It's like our lungs is like inner tubes. If you overinflate an inner tube, what will happen? It will bust. And so, to me, when they up the ventilator requirements to an ultimate high, they really blowing people's lungs out. And they getting paid anyway. You know what I'm saying? A lot of nurses was dancing on TikTok. And some of these hospitals was empty. But yet, it's still on TV. They said it was piling up. And I mean, I'm quite sure some of y'all said, no, it really was going on. It probably was. But really was the scan within what was going on. Because in Detroit, I don't know where y'all living at, but in Detroit, we got a shortage of bums and homelessness. There's a lot of them out there, but we got a shortage of them due to the COVID in 1 year. Some of the people I used to see in some of the spots that I used to give money to ain't there. I wonder where they at. So, you know. But anyway, next story. We got the implants tracking devices developed right now that they're going to use for the military. That's going to track you inside your body. It's going to create your body like a check engine light to where your phone's going to get an alert if something's going on within the body. They already got COVID testing toilets coming out. So why not put it in you to check you too? It's all going to work off the phone. God damn, you're going to shit and you're going to have some shit in you that's going to check everything. You're going to be a living car. You might as well get sensors.
Well, we just seen the story where they said they're trying to turn us into the X-Men and shit, been making soldiers into Captain America and shit.
Right, we showed that story, right? To where, you know, you're gonna be like Captain America, to where China is developing super soldiers. But I mean, they put out the movies before this. Remember Universal Soldier with Wesley?
Yep. Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Terminator. Come on now, people. We got these. We've been had these super soldiers, and we've been had people that's being experimented on. Look at the movie, The Doctor. What is it? The Doctor of Island of Monroe. The Island of Dr. Monroe. Look at that movie. Look at Hunger Games. You're right. The Matrix. A lot of the times, the homeless people be healthy. Then more people living in the homes, they do. That's my man Elmont. They do. But they had to take them off the streets and say, I think Duggan came out to where he had to take the bums off the streets and say, you know what I'm saying, they all got to get tested. Just like he going up into the homeless, into the elders, nursing homes. Remember, they was tackling the nursing homes.
Yep.
So if you already got an ailment, get the shot, and then shit, whatever's happening.
It cause complications, and then they write it off as, they passed away from
they
complications due to COVID.
But we just showed you the clip where Bill Gates and the Super Friends, BG, said they don't want you around. And we showed you a couple episodes ago to where Bill Gates, I don't know, I think we showed you Bill Gates is rated right now the top doctor.
Now, what qualifications does he have?
Money. That's the qualifications. Money, man, Mark. I can buy.
I mean, of course, I
can buy an engineer.
Hypothetical question to the audience, of course.
Right. But I'm just saying, if I want to be an engineer, man, Mark, I can buy myself to be an engineer, the top engineer. If I build some buildings, but I am not building it myself, I'm not the architect or nothing. I just paid the money to build these buildings. And they're going to call you the top engineer or the top doctor if you've just fund the money to do something.
Right.
But you're not putting in the footwork. So the top doctor should be the person that came up with it. But this is the times we're living in. So, I think we got the let's roll this footage. We got the implant tracking device developed by the I think DARPA for the military that's going to use your body like a check engine light.
Let's check it out.
There's a few current projects. Some sound like they're from an episode of Star Trek. Consider a ship like the USS Theodore Roosevelt, hobbled last year when 1,271 crew members tested positive for the coronavirus. What if everyone on board had their health monitored with this subdermal implant, now in late-stage testing? It's not some dreaded government microchip to track your every move, but a tissue-like gel engineered to continuously test your blood.
It's a sensor.
This tiny green thing in there?
That tiny green thing in there, you put it underneath your skin, and what that tells you is that there are chemical reactions going on inside the body, and that signal means you're going to have symptoms tomorrow.
Wow. There's an actual transmitter in that?
Yeah, it's like a check engine light.
Check this sailor out before he infects other people.
That's right.
Sailors would get the signal, then self-administer a blood draw and test themselves on site.
Look at that. We can have that information in 3 to 5 minutes. As you truncate that time, as you diagnose and treat, what you do is you stop the infection in its tracks.
Showed us a few
Now look at that. That had green tentacles on it. And this is what they're going to implant in people. It's starting with the military, the U.S. And we already played before that the picture of China developing super soldiers. So now we get into the movies, yo. Universal Soldier. To where we don't need as many people around. We don't need as many Marines and Army and Navy people. We only need a few good men. That's it. I mean, they've been talking about that in the commercials for a minute. We don't need a lot of y'all.
There's a damn movie called A Few Good Men.
We only need a few. And the rest is going to be robots. So as you look at movies like The Matrix, to where they're going to be coming with more drones than people. I think next week we're going to get into some stories I got to where, some videos to where the Army is coming with less people. They're coming with more drones. And that's the bills that Biden is passing through. Let's come with less people and more robots. We grew up watching RoboCop. So how else are we gonna combat this racist cop?
Detroit, though.
But how we also, Mark, we gonna control these racist cops? We gotta implement a non-racist robot. Cause the white man can't be trusted, right? But IBM can. Because remember IBM? Yeah, they into some of the robots. They back. Don't think they left. Just because they ain't making computers, yo. Microsoft. They into computers. You already got a robot that's vacuuming your house. They got one that's going to cut your grass. So how many lawn care people really going to lose their jobs in the future in the next 3 years?
I mean, it's already rolling out to that. I mean, with the insurgence of applications like Uber and Lyft, right?
Right.
And the taxi drivers taking the hit. Then we got stuff like Snow Hub, and I forget the other one, Lawn Guru or something like that.
I was using one of the apps. I can't remember right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. But to where you could just pick up a car and use it for so many hours. I don't need a rental. And I don't need the insurance or nothing. I can literally take an Uber to my car and use it for 8, 10, 12 hours and drop it back off. Take an Uber and I'm done. And it's way cheaper than a rental. So we got all kinds of ways right now because, we got stories coming up to where Amazon is coming with checkouts right now. And they already been approved for this. So it's going to be less cashiers. So all you cashiers that's complaining and say all the COVID, they're coming for your jobs. And let me tell you one more. The teachers. The suburbs of Detroit where I'm at is going to school or had the option of not going to school. But the inner city kids are on lockdown. They can't go to school because the inner city public officials is locking them down, talking about they scared. But 5 miles up the road, the kids is in school, man, Mark. Do that make sense? So
but, I don't know if you've seen the story about Grosse Pointe North High School.
Right.
Where a lot of these teachers are walking off because of the loosening of the COVID restrictions and them feeling like it's unsafe.
But let me tell you this.
They have resigned and quit their jobs, actually.
You're going to quit, you're going to resign. But Bill Gates got a trick up his sleeve. He got a program that's going to teach your kids better than the teachers. It's already right now. And so what you think going to happen to the officials, Mark? The state of Michigan or the state of whatever state you stay in, how you think they gonna treat this? Are they gonna sell out the teachers? Because this program is projected to save each state over $15 billion. And this damn program, the damn teachers take the attendance, take facial recognition. It gets them prep for tests, for exams. It gets you prep for the state exams. It gets you in an interactive way. So what's going to happen to the teachers, man, Mark, that's complaining, that's walking off? For the future.
They're not going to have a thing to walk off from.
And to all you
competing with software.
That you can't beat the software. Because this software right now, I said take fake. I mean, remember, they used to take our names. You got to roll up to the camera, boom, sign in. How hard is that, Mark? You logged in. I mean, quite sure after so many times you log in, they got you. So you even look, boom, blink. It's me. They already. Oh yeah, he back.
I'm about to say, yeah. All you gotta do is sit down at this.
Right, point. Boom. You logged in. It got you. It know your shirts, everything, your neck bones, the mustache,
man.
And so that the people that's complaining will be replaced in the future. And what we called it in some of the old episodes before this is called the Great Reset. Who's essential? Who's non-essential? Look at the movies like Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer? Movies like The Matrix. That's telling you that you're a cancer. That you will be replaced by software. And so you can complain now and say union and all this, but we living in the 21st century right now. We moving forward. And the forward is the Great Reset is what they looking at. Because the billionaires can save more money putting software in than your motherfucking ass that's complaining. You can walk off with shit. The kids gonna sign off. They already know video games. All I gotta do is put a video game type software into the mixed in with virtual reality and facial recognition, and you out of there. And that's the game, people. Even cooks will be out their job in the next 10 years because the computer can cook some shit better than you. And more proficient. They know when it's 165. They know when it's 145 a steak and how you want your shit with a diamond cross. And, you know, it's perfect. It comes out perfect every time. And that's more consistent than your ass that don't want to show up. That call off all the time. That demand sick days and personal days and vacation days. The computer don't never got no vacation days. And it don't got no union. So, you know, that's where we at. So the last story of the day, we got 500 million mosquitoes will be released in Florida to combat the other mosquitoes, the natural mosquitoes, because they say they got the Zika.
Ain't that some shit?
You're going to replace regular mosquitoes with biological mosquitoes. And who's invested into the mosquitoes? It's BG again. Go back and look at some of the old footage of BG and the mosquitoes. BG invested in their goddamn thing. Is this nigga into cupcakes?
Probably. He the one that probably got Twinkies Hostess. Remember Twinkies went out of business. Hostess went out of business. He bought them and rebought them back and shit. Probably don't get him no ideas. Don't give him no ideas.
Said BG on Twinkies now, motherfuckers. Y'all over here, he look on Little Debbie's. They all went out. He purposely bankrupted them and bought them back. Damn. 500 million mosquitoes will be released in Florida. And the people in Florida don't want it. Because would you be in the backyard and want some old biological mosquitoes in your backyard? How would your bumps be? Just little. Like, they ain't little and itchy. But these mosquitoes, remember, can administer stuff. Remember? Do the mosquitoes, these biological mosquitoes that they made up in the lab, administering vax?
You know? Man.
Yep. So look, they say I'm praying for Florida. I would too, because you know what I'm saying, the people look up the videos, mosquitoes being on YouTube or whatever, mosquitoes being released in Florida. The people don't want it there. So man, I think
biological mosquitoes. We done heard it all, man. After they done gave us the
Hold on, I
fucking
think we
murder
got-
hornet scare and
I think
all
we got
the
a
rest
couple
of that
more videos. What we got, the Netflix and chill, don't we?
Yeah, that was the one we played by mistake in the beginning. What was that?
Let's
about?
play that right now. With Netflix and chill, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Molesting multiple young girls and was suspected in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Sigmund Freud's sister, Anna Freud, whom Freud claimed was regularly molested and abused by their perverted father, gave birth to Freud's nephew, Edward Bernays, the father of propaganda. Bernays took his family's work in psychology and used it to help governments and corporations manipulate the minds of the public. Hired by the American Tobacco Company, Bernays manipulated women into buying more cigarettes by convincing them that smoking was a form of feminist liberation. During this propaganda campaign, he dubbed cigarettes torches of freedom. Thanks to Bernays and his family's twisted legacy, social engineering became big business. Modern psychology was used to exploit mankind's mental weaknesses, nurture the public's lower desires, and turn people into mindless consumers. Is it any surprise, then, that the great-nephew of Edward Bernays is none other than Mark Bernays Randolph, the co-founder and original CEO of Netflix? Does anyone really think this is a coincidence? Netflix has not only replaced network television as the premier home of pop culture, it is also continuing the degenerate, depraved social engineering of the Bernays-Freud legacy. In 13 Reasons Why, Netflix was accused of romanticizing suicide during a recent increase of teenage suicides. In The Devil Next Door, they were accused of rewriting history to deceive viewers into believing that Poland was responsible for establishing Nazi death camps. In The First Temptation of Christ, Jesus Christ is depicted as a homosexual. And a Texas grand jury indicted Netflix for depicting child sex in the movie Cuties. Netflix and chill, the new preferred method for brainwashing the masses. Brought to you by one of the most depraved, degenerate families of the modern era. Turn it off and wake up.
Right. I bet y'all right watching right now didn't know Netflix was owned by the demon.
Whoa.
But we all, watch Netflix. I got Netflix too. I ain't gonna act like I don't got Netflix. Shit. My wife wouldn't let me have Netflix. Like, you gotta have Netflix, nigga. You better have Netflix. It come with our T-Mobile account. But anyway, another story.
Sharon said, you should have this guy around more often, Mark. You make a whole lot of sense. Hey, man, listen. This is the first time in a while that I think I've actually streamed live on my page and the 7 Mile Radio page at the same time. So,
right.
You know what I mean? We kind of watching from two different videos right now, two different pages. So, for everybody that's watching, make sure y'all go follow the 7 Mile Radio page as well, because we got like two different sets of comments. Even he's seeing different comments than I'm seeing because it's on two different videos.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, this goes down every what's today? Thursday, 5 o'clock from 5 to 6.
The Hidden Hand.
Yeah.
Truth Talk Nation, man. This is what it is, man. We've been around coming with these real stories, and we like to come with the stories that, you know what I'm saying, we got to come with the real footage. Because people think you lying and say, you know what I'm saying, you spreading misinformation. No. We got fucking news.
This is your opinion. This is only how you feel.
This is your opinion.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, we live in a day and age now in America.
Right.
You're correcting me, not in the world, but in America that where what you feel is more correct than the actual truth.
Right.
And if you feel something so strongly, if you believe it, that lie can become a truth that everybody else has to respect, or they're wrong.
Right. But, you know what I'm saying, we got another video to where this man right now, he's a Holiday Inn worker, a manager, that literally beat himself up.
For what?
Somebody was just checking on what is it? They bookie, man. Like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? And he had messed it up. And so, no, yeah, us black people.
He wanted the key. He wanted a room. He wanted the key to his room.
So, right, or some shit like that. And so, the person right now is saying that the black man was harassing them. And so now they got to GoFundMe for this dude.
They got to GoFundMe for the damn cashier dude?
That's over 40 racks. And
he got the money already?
No, it's raising. It's getting more. Right now it's at 40 racks.
Right now.
No, the goal was like 15 racks or some shit. They at 40 because they saying that this black man harassed him. He made him beat himself up. This is what's going on now. I think Tariq Nasheed, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all, some of y'all might watch Tariq Nasheed was talking about this to where they was accusing him of literally punking this dude on the net. But on the net, this is a worldwide incident that everybody is watching. Anytime you got a dude that beat himself up, goddamn it, and hit his head on the goddamn computer, come on, man, this man is crazy, and he the manager.
He don't need to be working there.
He don't need to be working
dealing
there.
with people in customer service.
And I'm concerned if any of my black people or my Moors or whatever go to an establishment to where a person is wigging out like that, then you need to be concerned. You do. Literally.
Let's show them the video.
Let's roll the video.
Because you all made a mistake?
Not really, no.
So you want to get mad and hit the computer because you made a mistake? Because your company made a mistake? You want to take it out on me?
I'm not taking it out on you.
So why did you get mad and hit the computer? Why did you get mad and hit the computer?
Because I have mentioned.
I'm sure you're on camera, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm sure you're on camera. So this is the type of people they have working here.
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You ruined my whole life, man.
Wow. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Because you all made a mistake?
Not really, no.
So you want to get mad at
Man. So that's what's going on right now.
Slap himself with the computer screen.
And then cry foul.
And then cry foul and say that the black man harassed him.
He said the black man
harassed your damn self.
But now he's saying that the black man off camera before everything started rolling called him a homophobic term or whatever, slur. That's what he's saying off camera. This is before it started rolling. But do he have the type of tone to say that he wouldn't even know if this dude was gay or not? You know,
if the camera hadn't been rolling, and the white guy still done what he done, and then called the police and said, "Oh, well, this black dude beat me up,"
right?
And you know, threw the computer monitor at my head. The cops would have believed her. They would have believed the white man.
So they believe in him now. Like I said, he got over a $40,000 GoFundMe
with the goal of only 15,
something like that, and because he supposedly got fired after this. This is the Holiday Inn manager. So wouldn't you be concerned checking in to a manager like this? But anyway, this is about the end of the story, man. Shit. We at the end, man. And peace to my man T Mizzle. He ain't here, you know, this week again, man. Let's say peace to his family, man. He lost a loved one. So, you know, we say peace to my man T Mizzle.
Next week we'll see you in here, T Mizzle. We got a surprise for you, T Mizzle. Got a surprise for T Mizzle when he get back to the studio.
You already
He's making
know
himself the victim instead of doing his job like a professional. I'm absolutely right.
Right, man. So peace to my man T Mizzle and the family, y'all. And you know, we got a book before we get on out. This is one of the books. This is a new copy, but I'm back reading it again because it's a lot of shit that's going on. Behold the Pale White Horse. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can get this William Cooper book. This is a new copy because I had lost my copy. I don't know what I did with it. Just when I moved to my new crib, man, it just magically disappeared or some shit. I don't know if my wife threw it away or something. But also pick up that Judo Woke Ace cookbook on Amazon. I don't got a copy of it right now. You can also pick it up on eBay, Barnes and Nobles. Excellent Moorish cookbook. Or you can DM me on Instagram and hit me up and ask me for the book, though. So, man, damn, man, Mark, what's about it, man? What you?
Yeah, that's about it, man. Y'all go to 7mileradio.com/traffic jam. I'll post the link. I missed to post the link in the description of this video because y'all know we got that poll up for the best show on 7 Mile Radio.
That's right.
We're gonna do at the meet and greet. We're gonna present an award for the best show. So y'all can go to the website. You know what I mean? You will see the information for that. Or like I said, just wait till after the show. I'm gonna post that link in the comments for you to go and vote. And you can purchase your tickets to the event. So that's
right. So you already done. We come with that truth, and we got to come with the facts, and so that way you ain't accuse us of misinformation. So this is the hidden hand within the hand. This is Truth Talk Nation. I'm Judo Woke Ace. I got my Mark from 7 Mile, and shit, we out. Peace.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile